Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Elias and welcome back to Age of Engineering. I almost forgot what it was called. Welcome back to Age of Engineering. So last time we were beginning to make a couple of IC2 machines and well, long story short, we needed a lot of diamonds to kind of continue, so I went mining for a bit. It took so long. I did go ahead and put both haste and luck on my pick. Didn't really help much, but the other thing that I was working on is building up the base a little bit. So yeah, I have these jelly bean cobblestone. I think they look kind of cool, and then these acacia planks. I think those look good with the fancy chisel on them, and yeah, so not too bad. Not the best of bases. I'm still working on it, as you guys can tell, but we're getting there. So as I get more cobblestone and all that kind of fun stuff, then I'll be able to build this up a little bit more and everything will be good. But unfortunately, I'm running low on resources, specifically cobblestone, mostly because mining is a pain. I want to do a couple of things before we kind of finish. Before today's episode ends, hopefully we can at least start getting enough IC2 stuff to start making steel, and then in the next episode I want to go to the Nether and do some mining so that we can get cobalt. And once we get cobalt, we can make a cast and all that kind of fun stuff, and make a hammer, and that's how I'm going to mine for pretty much the rest of the game until we start getting into quarries and void ore miners and all that kind of stuff. But right now, I think I need to make a little bit of food. Do I want to make... That makes 2 bread, but I have to cook it. That's fine. So let's do something like this. And we get the actually addition book. Don't we already have one of these? Yeah. I don't know why it gave me another one, but whatever. Let's put that in there and grab some coal. Yeah, I really want to get a bunch of... It is night. Let's sleep. I do really want to get a bunch of stuff going today. I want to get steel going because steel is going to be important for some of the stuff. But first things first, we have enough diamonds to make these. So I need 16 diamonds and what, 2 iron? Yes. Now the reason I'm making 2 of these is we're going to need 2 of them. It's pretty simple. So the first one, the first block cutting blade, is going to go into this machine. And we're going to take the iron one out and never speak of it again. So basically what this just allowed us to do is now we can cut every block softer than diamond. So what we can do, I don't know why there was cobblestone in there. We can take our iron, we can make this a block, and we can go ahead and throw this in here, and it will cut it up and give us 9 iron plates. Now this is going to be relatively slow, but it's going to be better in the long run because the metal former requires not only a lot of bronze, it also requires these guys, the small storage crates, which the wood casings are pretty easy, but it requires dense gold and dense iron. Well, there's a bunch of iron plates for something else. And I think the next thing I want to make is the macerator. So I want like 5 machines all right now. And yeah, it's gonna be a pain. So we have a little bit of rubber, not much. If we want to make the macerator, we're gonna need an electronic circuit, which requires a bunch of rubber. 6 rubber to be exact. So here's the thing. I have some sticky resin, and I want to make more than what I have. So let's take copper. I have a decent amount of materials. And let's do 1, 2, 3. Let's get a bit of copper. And I'm going to cast this out, and we're going to take the first block, and we're going to run it through that guy. And what we're going to be doing is, I think the next thing I want to do, we could use these tin cables. That might not be a bad idea, but at the same time, that probably is. So the block cutting machine we have. So we can get rid of that. We don't need that. As you can see, by the way, I moved the search bar to the middle of the screen. I just like it there a little bit better. So is this melted down? It is. Let's get a little bit more. So we're going to need a lot of copper cables. And the problem is copper cables, if we take a look, macerator, switch to the other thing, thank you. So copper cables we can get from a metal former. We can get 3 for every single 1 copper. Or we can get 2 from cutting plates, or we can get 2 from metal forming plates. This is the best way, but this is the way we're going to do for right now because that's what we have access to. So let's get a little bit more copper smelted up, and we'll come get that stuff in a moment. Let's go ahead and throw this guy in here. This is slowly running out of power. We're going to need a little bit of flint. We shouldn't need the tool forge except for any sort of like, I know the metal former, for example, needs these item casings, but luckily the tool forge with the bronze plate will give us 2 of those. Metal forming, it's the same way. That's the only 2 ways to get this, so it doesn't really matter which way you use, but we are going to need more iron. And let's get like this. And we're gonna also be getting gold relatively soon. The electric furnace is pretty cheap. Does require another basic control circuit. So I think the first thing I want to work towards getting is the extractor. I think that's gonna be the best thing. So let's do that. So the extractor is going to be good for one main reason. So I need basic item machine. We're gonna need some redstone, which I have plenty of, and then we're gonna need 4 more rubber exactly. And I don't want to do any more than 4. I want to do exactly 4. The reason being is reasons. I don't want to waste rubber. So in order to get rubber, if we look at the recipes for rubber, smelting is a 1-to-1. However, extractors can not only extract rubber wood, which is kind of useless otherwise, but sticky resin will give you 3 per. So that's a lot better. Let's grab a little bit, actually let's grab like 2 coal coke, and once we have this all taken care of, we're going to need 6 copper cables, and honestly let's get like 2 more. And it's probably not the best of ideas, but we need a little bit of cabling. We need 1, 2, 3. We actually need 3. So, and we'll manage. We'll do a little finagling. So we have this, and now we just need a bunch of tree taps. Nothing too difficult. I just need some wood, and it's what, like this much, and we get 4 tree taps, and now we should be able to make the extractor. So that is, no, not that one. It has to be perfect ones, can't be damaged. So we do this, and alright, let's just do it. Alright, so we need some cables. And you know what we're going to do is we're going to take insulated cables along the top. Wow, that is yuck. And I don't know why the lighting errors. Now don't touch these. These will electrocute you a little bit. Just a little bit. But we'll get this running. And honestly, we'll see how much power this makes. But this will give us a lot more rubber for whatever we need. Alright, and then we can get more cables. We can take these off and put just copper cables. And honestly, that's going to be the best way to deal with this. So let's do this. And we just break these. And then insulate it. And fix that lighting error. Alright, so the next machine we can hook up as well. So the extractor is going to give us rubber. And honestly, we're going to have this go ahead and work for a while. Let's do 18. So we're just going to put that in there and let it go. So that should be good. So let's get the macerator next. We're going to want to saw up some more iron, and then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting away from this guy just a little bit. We're going to still use him for smelting up, I think, for the time being, just because we have the lava and it'll be easy enough. But instead of putting ores in here, we're going to put dust. So basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to make the macerator, and this guy will allow us to double our ores. It will cost a little bit of coal, a little bit of power, but in the end it's going to be worth it. So let's grab this, block cutting machine it, and what all are we going to need? So we have the extractor now. We need the blast furnace and electric heater and the compressor. We're going to be making like 5 more machines. So 2 cobblestone, alright, just a basic circuit. So something like this. And then if we have enough rubber, which we do, cool. And we'll go ahead and put this here. Alright, and it sounds like we're out of power. That's okay for right now. So let's get all of this taken care of. There's the basic machine, these guys, the block cutting, and some cobblestone, and that gives us the macerator. So we'll put that there. Fix that. I don't know why that happens. And let's go ahead and throw some more coal coke in here. And it'll kind of complain for a little bit, but power is something we'll work towards soon enough. Let's get a little bit more coal going into our blast furnace, just so that we can get more stuff, more coal coke. Coal coke is a little bit better, by which I mean it's double normal coal. So for now, since we're just going off of a generator, it's better in the long run to do that. So once we get established a little bit with IC2, and namely I want to get steel and then go mining for a while, I want this tool forge. We need a lot of steel for this, but that shouldn't be that bad. And honestly, we can, if we get just a couple blocks, we'll be good. So steel comes from the blast furnace, which is not actually that hard to make, and it doesn't actually require too much other than compressed air. Which is easy enough to get. So let's throw in 9 iron, and it's going to macerate it. And yeah, we're going to need more power. Let's just put 2 in and see how it does. And we can get rid of, let's see, the macerator. So next is going to be, I think I want to make we need to make the compressor next. This is really easy. Just requires some sort of stone, another base machine casing, and another, yeah, so as you can see, we got 4 crushed iron. This can be thrown, I guess we can only smelt it. We can't throw it in the smeltery. That's kind of a bummer, but any kind of furnace we can use. Including the electric furnace, so it might be a good idea to make that. which just requires a little bit of iron. And then coal, which I will be honest, we're a little low on coal, but at the same time, that's not a big deal. Coal is plentiful and easy to get. So you know what, let's go ahead and make the electric furnace. We're gonna need to get a little bit more iron cooked up. Let's see. There is a cave relatively close, I do believe. There's also lava like right over here. You can hear it underground. Let's see if we can't really quickly find a cave to get a little bit of coal. Also keep our hunger up. I hate how grassy this area is. It makes it really hard to kind of find anything or see caves or anything like that. But I just want a little bit of a cave opening for some coal. I shouldn't be asking for that much. I just need a little bit of coal because I don't really want to take the coal out of the coke oven. I just want to get a little bit more so that I can make the iron, and here we go. There should be some in here. Shouldn't be that hard to find. Yeah, there's some coal. Also a zombie nearby, but who cares? So haste makes this a little bit better, but once we have a hammer, oh my god, there's so much coal here. Alright, so that should be more than enough. Let's head home and go from there. So if we make the electric furnace, that will allow us to cook up our stuff. Now there is an induction furnace, which is much better. However, we need advanced machine casing. We're not ready for that yet. We'll get there. We'll get there. But that's going to be a little bit. So for now, I'm not going to worry about the induction furnace. We'll pick up the electric furnace once we're ready to make that. Because it is an upgrade. The upgrade is basically it will go a lot faster. It uses a little bit more power, but it goes a lot faster. And honestly, it's really good. Probably one of the best IC2 machines, even compared to other mods that do similar things. So let's get like half of this, like so. Good bit of rubber. Let's get 2 of those in, and let's get none of these cooking up. So this will take a moment, but let's see if we have everything else. So once we have that, we should be able to, let's see, we're gonna need another copper block cut into plates. Should not be too difficult. We have redstone. We're gonna need this bronze in a little bit. Basically another bronze block, and once this iron is done, that'll be good. I'm just trying to think what else. We're gonna need diorite. I think 6 will be enough, and yeah, so we just need to cut 6 more of these guys so that we can get yet another circuit board. And how is this doing? 6. Alright, so while we're waiting, let's go ahead and get the gold macerated. And this isn't the best of ways to like power all the machines, because honestly we're going to want to automate some of this stuff, but we really can't automate anything right now, so it doesn't really matter to me. If we take a look at probably one of the best things would be a transfer node. Transfer nodes require hoppers and item transfer nodes, which require hopper ducts. which is, yeah, I have no idea what these are used for, but requires some aluminum, and then the hopper also requires aluminum. So, and I don't know how much aluminum I have. I have 9, so not much. Alright, so let's grab the iron. Wow, we just got a lot of achievements. Let's actually make yet another crafting table. Wow, so many achievements. It's because I just finally got iron out of a furnace. So we'll put crafting table right here. I actually don't want it to do that. I hate that thing. I wish it didn't do that, but whatever. So we'll make the block of iron. And I was going to do put that there so it could do the thing, but meh. So we're going to want like 2 more. I think 2 more will be good. And we're out of power. So let's get to these guys in here, and there's our iron plates. We should be able to make the compressor, and I wanted to make the iron furnace first. That's right. Not the iron furnace, the electric furnace. So it does require an iron furnace, easy enough. Then this, and then 2 redstone gives the electric furnace, which we'll put right there, and we can cook up the rest of this. Oh, cool, and we'll get the experience from it too. So now we need 3 more of these guys, a bit more rubber, and there is that. So once this is done, let's go ahead and cut up this guy as well. So once this is done, we'll put the gold in and we'll get yet another thing. So I'm not going to worry about the transfer nodes right now. The electric furnace we just made. So what else we have? Tool forge, bat box, electric heater, compressor. I think compressor is the next one on the list. Or should be anyways. So let's get the gold cooking. We'll get the iron cut up. And you know what? Is there any usage for these guys? Empty booze barrels. Don't really care about that. Smelting it gives us logs. Precision sawmill. Yeah, not super worried about it. So let's just extract all the rest of the stuff out of it. And there is another basic item. Casing. This guy, and then the diorite gives us a compressor. Now the compressor is needed for the next thing, which is the electric heater in the blast furnace. That's what I'd like to try to make today. We'll get the metal former soon enough. The metal former will help. It's a nice automatic way to make plates and things like that. And we're out of power again. So let's just put both of these in here. We'll go get more coal coke. It's probably night. Yep. I realized there's a clock. I didn't actually look at it. Alright, so where are we at? So we can get more rubber. So the next thing we're going to want to make, the blast furnace requires some more copper plates and a bunch of rubber. So let's get some more rubber. I can get at least a little bit more from this guy. This is going to be 9 more rubber, plus whatever we have going up in there. We're going to need another block of copper. And this will be cut up. So in order to make the blast furnace, what we need is iron item casings and basic machine frames. So we need 7 iron item casings. There's 6. So the next iron that goes through there will give us what we need. And yeah, I'm not going to do too much ore processing until I get a decent amount of resources and can at least start getting power. So we're going to want something like this, and once we have the iron, we need more coal coke. Once we have the iron, we can start doing more. And yeah, everything is going to be kind of slow until we get some ore processing up and running. So there is the first set of plates. We're going to go ahead and compress these because that's the whole reason we made them. The compressor can do a lot of fun stuff. I think we're going to need 2 of these actually. Yes, we are. So something like this. I hate those noises. It's out of power. And they do stack, so that's good. And then I think we also need a coil, which is one of these. Pretty easy, just a piece of iron and a whole bunch of copper. Copper's probably the next thing we're going to need a lot of. But once we get the iron, which we can go ahead and start cooking that up. And let's compress this up. And just start working on getting everything. One of the big things that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make, we're going to replace this guy with a better, we're going to replace this guy with a bat box. And then we're going to have some like solar panels or I don't even know what yet. We're going to do something to get a decent amount of power, IC2 power, without too much fuss. For right now, the coal coke is going to work just fine, but it's not going to be the best. So we'll make yet another block. Cut this up. And then once the macerator is done, we'll get some more stuff. So what else do we need for the blast furnace? That's about it. So once this is done, we'll have basically everything we need for the blast furnace. So let's get some more copper, because we're gonna need a decent amount of copper. So something like this, and we just smack this guy, and there is the blast furnace. Now the blast furnace does not work unless it has power, and in order to get that, we're gonna go ahead and put this here. We're going to put an electric heater right here. Now the compressor, we're going to need to get universal, if I can spell universal cell, which is just 10 item casings in a glass pane. We're going to grab like a handful of those. So let's get a block of 10. We'll cut that up. And we have a bit of iron left. So the other thing we need is the electric heater. So we need more iron item casings. And an RE battery, which is more tin, and a tin cable that's insulated. That's easy enough. So we have the actual blast furnace. That's a step. Now if we can get it up and running, it's going to be manual for right now. Just because I don't really have the materials or anything to make it automatic yet. So 1, 2... Let's do something like this. And we're going to do 1, 2, 1, 2. Those two. And this, there's the battery. Generator needs more power. And then we also want to do something like this. And glass panes. I don't have any, so let's grab some glass. Make some glass panes. And do that. Alright, so let's see, we have iron plates. An electric heater does not require any iron item casings, or rather, not the item casings, any of the one things. Machine frame doesn't require a machine frame. There we go. That is what it doesn't require, but it does require this guy. Heat conductor and RE battery, and then we just that is not right. So let's make a wrench. We have a little bit of bronze. I really could use a little bit more. 3 copper, 1 tin. Perfect. We'll just melt that up in here and hope for the best. So put those in there. We're going to want to get the compressor compressing universal fluid cells. Now those are going to go in here, as well as some iron. And we're going to want more copper plates so that we can cut more copper wires. And the electric heater is made. So there we go. Now we're getting really close to this. So the universal cells go in here, and we get air. Now obviously we're out of fuel. I really need to get power set up. I don't know how I'm going to do power yet. Be honest, I'm not the best with IC2. I'm not a big fan of the mod. It's a little overwhelming for me at times. Just because the machines, there's a lot of stuff that's not really described, and it's an old mod that just has a lot to it. So we're going to want 4 of these guys cut into wires, and then this made into a coil. Now we put the coil in here, and it can make heat. Now this doesn't have any heat. It's not transmitting any because it is on the wrong side. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a wrench, and we're going to flip it. The problem is I need bronze. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I need 6. So hopefully we have enough. Otherwise we'll have to make some more tin. We have enough. So bronze wrench. And then this guy, if I click it, whoop, didn't mean to do it like that. I believe, okay. The shift click, there we go. That's what it is. Shift click that. Now this will start getting heat once this gets power. And we can just fill this with air. Now my next question is, do we have any more iron? We have a single piece of iron. Let's see if we can turn this into steel. So is this going to start working, or do we need more? It's slow. Now we can add more coils to increase heat. I think I want to go ahead and do that. So let's make yet another copper block. We'll put that in there. And I need 2 more iron. Let's just get, actually let's just get all of it and macerate it. And hope for the best. So this has a lot of air in it. I'm not entirely sure how much it needs in order to make what we want, but let's get 2 more iron. I should have a little bit more coal coke, and then we're gonna sleep because it is night And honestly, we're getting to the point of the end of the episode, which is kind of good, because once we start making steel, we're going to make a lot more steel. And let's get something like this. I need to go sleep. I forgot about that part. So once we can start making steel, we're going to need, what, 36? 36 steel. So I'm going to definitely need to have to do some stuff, but it just isn't getting enough power, unfortunately. But this seems to be working. And let's just get a little bit more iron. And I just want to see if we can get at least one piece of steel. So we have more copper plates. And this guy's out of power. Alright, so power is... yeah, now we're out of coal. Power is definitely something we're going to want to address very soon. So the only thing we need to do is make the metal former, which is going to make wires a little bit easier to make and all that fun stuff. Now, if we look at EU production, this is going to be fun. Generators. So generators can make water mills. Solar panels, which just requires a little bit of coal dust and a bunch of basic circuits. Nuclear, which is locked out, I think, till we get the advance. Yeah, it is locked out for a while. A little while, anyways. Stirling generators, which that is a tier 2 power. Kinetic generators and windmills. Yeah, there's not many. I know there is also there's a couple others. There's the solid fluid generators, I do believe. Semi-fluid generators, these guys are decently good, but I need to look into like what's going to be the best thing for us, and what we can use to make stuff. So that is going to be the plan for later, but yeah, right now I need more power. So I'll tell you guys what, let's come back in the next episode and we're going to try to figure out some better generator power. I'd like to make a bat box, which is pretty easy, just a bunch of tin and a little bit of redstone, but mostly just a bunch of tin. So I think I'm gonna go mine a little bit, get some more coal specifically, and we'll get a little bit more coal coke and kind of go from there, and I will figure out what is going to be the best thing to use for power, at least in the time being. So it might be we continue using the generator, it might be we do something else. I don't know yet. But anyways, we have the blast furnace set up. It is working. That is all that matters. Once we get our first piece of steel, though, we can go to the nether. But what I want first is the tool forge. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!